It's the opening day of archery season in Pennsylvania here, and I'm going to give it a shot to try to do a little bit of filming on these hunts, kind of show you the backstory behind it and see what kind of happens there. Not promising anything, but this morning's feeling really good. The temps are in the low 40s here. Got a good walk in this morning, just about 1.75 miles in. So I'm going to use this creek bottom to access, and well, see how it goes for opening day. Foggy morning here, but after the hike in, I truly think that could be a good morning. It's gonna get hot later, so I think while it's staying cool there in the morning, we might have some movement.
Before we get into the hunt story here, I wanted just to show you on a map what this looks like and what my thought process was. So first of all, this is not the real map of the area that I'm hunting. This is something that looks similar, but also different to be able to protect the spot there. But essentially what we had was there was a clear cut that had just been logged up on top here that had some fresh tops and a little bit of new growth grasses that they were feeding on up top, and I'd have some of the deer coming out of that and going to different ridges to be able to bed on. I had this particular deer down in this bottom here where I have this tree stand icon. I had a camera there and there was a trail, and I believed that this buck was coming off of this point down through past, and I'd found some good bedding back up on this other hill. And what the difference of this map versus the actual map of the area is, the bottom was a little bit wider, and actually at the point of that trail the thermals wouldn't take over. It would essentially have predominant wind in some of those situations, and so with the southwest wind, it was blowing in this direction. So from the bottom to the top here, kind of at an angle. And so my thought process with going into this spot is that I would be able to go in, deer would have the wind in his favor, had previous examples of him from the previous winter where he liked that southwest wind and what they were calling for on it to be able to move. And the problem is trying to be able to find out a setup that worked for me and also for him. So if I set up directly on the creek bank, my thermals would go down the creek, but just out in front on the trail, the wind was actually going in a separate direction in the favor of the deer. So this is how my setup looked. And it's a little bit different for most people in mountain country. A lot of people don't like hunting the bottoms, but if you find situations like that and you wind map it ahead of time, it can work out. So my plan was to access using the bottom, walking along the creek, using the thermals to go up, and actually walking in the water at some point until I got up onto the bank, climbed up in the tree in my saddle, and was able to wait. The Spartan Forge prediction for that day was that it was going to be a travel area. So they were going to be moving in daylight through their travel areas. So that's why I got kind of in the middle here. I wasn't too far away from the bed, but I was still close enough that I was able to, potentially have a shot at him in daylight with the 20-degree temperature drop. And even though that I thought he was bedding up on here, I wasn't sure how this buck was accessing it, if he'd use one of the different ridges. So in my thought process was to get at a point where he needed to cross here before he could go up this side of the valley, or if he went up this point of the ridge, whatever he was going to do, I was there. But I was also, if he had already beat me back to bed, that I was in a safe spot that I wouldn't blow him out.
Well, I'm shaking like a leaf right now because I just shot a giant 9-point. I did not set my camera up, so I got in this morning and just was making a little more noise than I wanted to get in the tree, and I'm like, I'm not gonna set this camera up. Should have, because he came in 14 yards and actually blew the shot. I don't think I've been at my waist. He was like right down below me, and I shot underneath him. Held a little bit too low too, because I don't know, but anyways, he ran out to about 25, and as I was sitting there, he he was just looking back, not sure what happened. So I loaded another arrow up, and he started walking out, and I stopped him again at about 45, and I shot, and everything felt good, and heard a whack, like it sounded like I hit him, not like a shoulder whack, but like a good hit. It just sounded great, and he tore off down the creek bottom here. So I don't know, but this it's just one of those things, man. I've never shot a buck on the first day. I'm super pumped. I'm just really hoping that I made a good shot on him, and we're gonna find him here shortly. Oh man, what a freaking morning, opening day. I'm gonna show you a little bit about this setup here. I'm sitting in a creek bottom, and the wind is southwest, which is actually blowing directly in the direction that deer is coming from. But I picked this spot for a reason. It's right on a creek, and my thermals are going straight down behind me. They've been doing that all morning, and so he's got the good wind direction in his face as he's traveling back to bed. And I had some beech tree here that was dropping beech nuts that they're feeding on, and he was the only deer I saw. Came in, the one I was after had 2 sheds of them from last year, or matching set, I guess, and he came in just like you would imagined, and like I said, blew the first shot, but second one felt good. We came right down this trail here, which wind direction is that way technically, but with my thermals dropping down, I was good. So anyways, he came in right here, came out. I got my Exodus camera right there on the tree. He stopped right there. I shot and blew it. He runs back into the woods right in here, a little bit back in there. Looks further away in camera than it is, but he stopped back there for a little bit. I loaded another arrow. He starts walking around, and I got another shot at him right back in here, and it's about 45 yards, and it felt good, sounded good. He took off like he was hit. So let's get down and go look. Here's the first arrow. Clean mess. We'll get the second one. Yeah, he came right down this trail, crossed onto this main trail. A beech tree dropping the beech nuts right in that direction. Exodus right there. Alright, so I've got some blood. I can't find my arrow anywhere, so I'm not sure if it's stuck in him. I couldn't tell these dark hemlocks when he ran off if he had it in him, but I'm just waiting. My dad's gonna come in and meet up with me here and take a look at it and see. There's good blood, but there's not a ton of blood, so that's my only concern. He was quartering away though, so maybe I lodged it in the other shoulder. That would be the best case scenario, but I'm gonna back off and go eat some food, and then wait till my dad gets in here. All right, so after going in with the tracking dog, we ended up finding the buck, jumped him in his bed, and he's hurt really bad, which is unfortunate, but I think he's going to die. I mean, I don't see how he doesn't. What it looks like what happened with the shot was he was quartering away, and it actually ended up being about 53 yards, I think, is what I ended up ranging. I was off a little bit, but I ended up the shot seemed to be good as far as up and down, but I hit him a little bit too far forward, so he's quartering away. And typically on a broadside shot that would have been good, but I hit him too far forward and it went through, looks like probably one lung and lodged in that opposite shoulder. That's what we're assuming from the way that he's acting. We're looking at the tracks and doing that, and working with that blood tracking dog was absolutely amazing. We lost blood like, I don't know, about 200 yards in, and that dog still picked up the track and was able to pick up the scent of that deer and find him bedded. And the deer let us get within 100 yards of him before he jumped up, which is pretty amazing. And you watched him run away, and he's really hurt. So we backed out, and we're just gonna go in probably in the afternoon, maybe the morning, depending on the rain. If it's a light rain, he had said that it'd be good, actually holds the scent down, helps the dog out. But if it's a heavy rain, it'll wash it away. So we're gonna play that by ear and see kind of what happens. But overall, I'm super disappointed in myself on the shot, from blowing the first shot at 14 yards or whatever it ended up being. Just basically not bending at the waist, a simple thing that we all know to do. I've done it. Like, it was a rookie mistake. I'm upset about it, but there's nothing I can do now but acknowledge it and move forward. And that second shot, I felt good with it. I was just a little bit off on my shot placement. And yeah, I mean, all you can do at this point is move forward with it and just keep on them. And I'm not going to stop looking for this deer until I find him, or have exhausted all chances or opportunities. But I think he's going to die. Just hope I can get to him tomorrow, I guess. So it's an extremely exciting opening day, and I've never had an opening day like this ever, which is incredible. But kind of a little bit tainted with that experience. But it's hunting, and if anybody says they've never wounded a deer, they are lying to you. And I feel good about my preparation. I need to figure it out a little bit. I need to stop making some stupid mistakes. If I want to be a killer, I gotta focus on not making those mistakes, because you don't get too many opportunities here in the big woods. So, man, incredible day. So. Good girl. You're a good girl. Holy cow. Unbelievable. Thanks, everyone.
You ready, brother?
I can't believe it. Holy cow. This thing's a hoss. Such a beautiful deer. Couldn't have found him without the help of everybody here. A couple more dogs running them. It's amazing.
Hi.
Oh, unbelievable.
It's a brute.
Yes, it is.
What do you think, Nova? Focused.
You're a good girl. You did good work today.
Yeah. You did good work.
So I'm here with Nick Getz and Jake Lister. These two guys and their dogs, Luna and Willow, have been a huge help. What's that? Nova. What did I say?
Luna. That's the other one, guys.
Oh, let me start over. All right, so I'm here with my buddy Nick Getz and Jake Lister and their two dogs, Nova and Willow. And these two guys and their dogs were a huge help in being able to find my deer here. And blood tracking dogs, so glad it became legal in Pennsylvania, because it's incredible that how much they're able to help and be able to recover the deer, because we lost the blood trail after about 180 yards and picked right up on it. So you want to talk a little bit about that?
He called me yesterday morning. I came out, and so I breed these dogs are Catahoula leopards, and this is Willow. This is her first year doing it, and I wanted to run her first. This would have been her first track, and she did pretty good, but kind of fizzled out a little bit, so we decided to run Nova. She's been here in Pennsylvania tracking since the first year, so she's got 4 years in right now. And we got a little bit farther than Willow, and we were able to jump him up. He was unfortunately still alive. We decided to back out, and then today we went back in and we were able to recover him. So
yeah, it's pretty awesome to see these dogs work, and watching Nick and Jake go with the dogs and understanding how they work, you know, and understanding their body languages and all those different things. It's pretty incredible. So where can people find if they're looking for a blood tracker kind of in their area?
UBT is going to be the best way to find a blood tracker in their area.
So UnitedBloodTrackers.org.
Yeah. That's going to be the easiest way. You can literally put your zip code in there, and you're going to find the closest person to you. And we are busy folks, especially around the rut. It is really hard to find a tracker. That's part of the reason why I started breeding dogs. Never planned on getting into that aspect of things, but we needed more dogs in the state. So,
yeah. And Jake, so when did you get into trying to start doing this?
So we got Willow come January, and immediately we started doing tracks with her. In late season, we had the opportunity to take her out for muzzleloader, and we got a shot at a doe, and she took up right on the blood immediately. And that was. Ever since then, we've just been doing blood trails with her, and she knows blood. But after today, finding deer, she's going to get the hang of it.
Yeah. She's going to be a rock star now. I just feel it. She needs this little fine tuning, and she's going to be right there with Nova.
Yeah.
So.
No, it's awesome. But thank you guys so much for coming out and helping.
My pleasure.
Yeah, thank you guys.